episode for higher GC news. Mima Obibia Akwaba had the latest hot enamede Bramo. And until so you subscribe to channel idea, Bomodia say over subscribe. The way I say over click the subscribe button, you know. Now what barely notification. We have a video for be upload when the first person wants a ebeka a video. Afi we are now what like video no give us a thumbs up now fi share my for so that when you be here now we and somewhere also Ghana memo hadum. Afi yimbura ye semwa abeto yepono so yinkuti ASR report here ababetu dwa mama yiti AS ansem yi
ewo ye national politics sometimes ubisa ho say oman na ye wom no ye nipa ye serious ana say ye there sa comic we na sabi ye very much interested we mpiankwa na we mpiankwa ha we twe ko akwasa wo frudua ofro adu when we atwe abofom na we abefro na we atwe we abofom that kind of way. That is what is playing out. And it's unfortunate government assistant Alaska ma we free the wailings in town before elections.
Very well.
The veil of hopelessness. And you man na and the fact is the average and the ordinary Ghanaian never had hope say Ghana and never be it is at the back of that and at this change of government by a month for hope he said the government will set itself up and then things will flow and Ghana for so betenasi abehwe aban na moto abama no e de be no war to offer differently from what has been happening in the past. That era na ye wo ye hwe de be koso ye be da sorry all the gains now the investigations, everything, topical issues are of great concern. For instance, ECG container over millions of dollars. Yeah, can't want some young the abafa ubina kwakoton adubuahin and several other investigations are koso and are not in the media. Yeah, that's sorry. All of a sudden, everything regarding this thing is without a trace. Everything is gone, and we are confronted with doses of allegations. Allegations, you know, there is no way to verify. Nobody is giving you any concrete information or evidence to justify those things. And you have all the media, both print, TV, whatever, presenting on this particular way without even going to the extent of on their own doing verification to add value to in some years spending within the political space as to whether these issues are serious or not. Let's just say we are all jokers. We don't even know what we are about as a country.
Oh, really?
Oh, Alaska. Na media who serious person be home. Nanka when yate home. I'm telling you because Alaska, Saka Ghana media are very serious. And some na branch no kano. There are certain basic legitimate questions that every sensible person will have to say. Yes, he's okay to say, I've seen suspicious plane moving in and out. You can seek further and better particulars. Say, Minister, you are the people in charge. I said, government, identify a plane give us explanation. Then government will have to provide you those evidence. And again, on the other breath, within the period of 3 months, Alaska, there has been a high-profile bust of cocaine in this country on 3 different occasions. Apart from that, you know, Yahoo, a syndicator, a ring, a criminal ringer, Alaska, what they do is almost print America for $1 now, only America, and what the power to print that money, no, obiche. Accra has say and they printed dollars. If you cry the wachucha onyan chucha nwie egu container. We are talking about millions of dollars. And some other criminal activities are air coso. The national security within a period of 3 months have been able to uncover these criminal activities are air coso and years. And yet air coso watch will be they be able to bust these things. Now Alaska, the whole gains, you know, are turning up to be. Then we are connecting plane now. You say you're suspicious. To say a plane is suspicious, no, you don't even know what they are doing. So plane now we name what they are doing. You know, how then do you conclude? What is cocaine? Plane who say suspicious. Koba among an airport who name do more yet. Now plane who name do more yet. No, how do you conclude? Now we have press conference. Conclude this. Plane no among this cocaine. Now Alaska. If you have been following drug activities around the world, no sensible person and a swap cocaine at the Kofa airport.
That's right.
Oko Mexico as well. Do you know what they do? cocaine no mo so agu plane no ne boy ya den be times 5 10 plane no so what they do ni say omotimi cross into American airspace na omo drop cocaine no into farmland omo mole omo ho mo sesa sa niam no then they will dish the plane ko plane no kwesi you need landing clearance. Okay. And you need money in everyone no man ditch plane na kwahwase. And they go na ahye nipa anima dey na abaye. That is what they were doing. Okay. Nobody unless those minor syndicate now you might want to transit through airport. But obi o end up say obeye cocaine business, high profile cocaine business no. Enye airport dey yes anema no. Because we are government you may not have control over everybody working there. Exactly. Now let's get another critical question. So what follow drug business and how they operate? It's a very complex enterprise. You need a lot of logistic connection planning and so forth. And Abanya will take it over 3 months. And they are setting all the network in place to be able to ship cocaine from Spain to Ghana. In and out. So you see, there are a lot of intellectual gaps in some of these things. Again, play now, your friend saying, play now air cobano. How do you connect it to cocaine or mochin or kruma? Because play now all come no. The first one, according to his press conference, he came to this country on the 12th. Okay. Of March. The first we bust no more $350 $1 million straight value cocaine was arrested on the 3rd of March. Okay. So if you want to do that connection, how do you connect it?
It doesn't tally.
So you see, and America said these are questions and the media should have asked these critical questions because you are the one alleging say cocaine are connected to planes na air cobana na no. You need to provide evidence because you are not just saying anything. We are talking about a criminal engagement. I know that if you are able to provide evidence, we have to go after these persons. And then he went to the extent of mentioning names. Also NDC former MP in the central region. And a cocaine there. Now so what this evidence? Why don't you go to the security agencies? And again, the president of the republic, I can say, oh, okay, I'm also interested. And collaborate with the security and provide me evidence now or not. Right. Then the guy turns into the media. And I make us why media Van Damme. And media on from radio station to radio station. And some now can see Yansaba Kukure and what national say these are people who are representing people in parliament and some now can the intellectual gaps are so glaring to the stand there. The people who are bisa no question they are not asking relevant and sensible questions. He thinks that he's on top of the mountain and again some no the president said go and meet the security agencies, provide evidence. Now we say won't because some now wo catch that your friend is saying a representative committee. For me, I think that this whole thing is nipa me blame the national security. Yes. I think that the national security requires serious reforms. Really? In terms of personnel, we need to revamp. Just there are a lot of brains working in that place. I'm not sure that they are fit for purpose. Oh yes, Alaska. This is supposed to be an intelligent organization. Alaska. President Dekar said he should collaborate. The following day, that guy should have been secured. Okay. You liberate the guy to go on media tour. In some ways, okay, I can't wait. And the woman that is I'm and I gave Fana Mokofan, I see a court procure the warrant. Procuring warrant, and then baby, and I want to see a chunk of the okay. What one covered to
so there are a lot of loopholes.
And the question is that China watching a crown warrant banner here. Because this is a guy and some now can hear criminal things. You need him to collaborate. It's not an arrest. Come and collaborate with us to investigate. What do you need arrest warrant for? And those who argue say MP cannot be arrested, that is nonsense. There is no law in this country that says a certain member of parliament cannot be arrested. That is not true. Oko Article 117 aseme ho ne say the parliamentarian when parliament is in session or yen juma he cannot be arrested. Okay. And or yen juma is classified to include onam kwan so ko ana opona or kofia na MP ne yiri tifie no twese kan twa ne tia yesi anchi MP o bodam ya kan o hefa. There is no constitution that says so. You understand? So say and some na o kan no oni proof na a disinformation and misinformation are all spread there or mine will every right to arrest, bring him on board without any warrant. So Yanko Annan so ya kwaje warrant aba na wo wagimi wo betena fie obi kwaje warrant aba cho betena mara che.
Say am robber robo a wo kwaje warrant.
And warrant no mo kwaje no was on TV. People were talking about it on TV. Now wo betena ya ba cho. About the na other people say, yeah. So I think that there are a lot of that reform that we need to do with some of these security.
So is it in the case even within the security agencies there are most?
Oh. No, wo kwaji we na wa announce no no wo betra ya ba becho. So Alaska me major focus in say you see this cheap politics of yemfanto no nyansa bia nim yete hai obi no support cocaine business.
That's right.
Wo evidence e kire say aban mu nipa and now even president kra na wo evidence or yeah fabra we will go after the person. We go bien who bro mraso and a Ghana ni bien who anadwene mu da ha oba chance obi nye cocaine business. But Alaska if you don't have fact just shut up. Because these are media now they have no solution to the problems now. It is government that at the end of the day, security agencies, and the bit to me are acting on some now and the evidence now just give it to them, collaborate with them, and then now better not how your press conference and no better not your press conference in some now or yet damage the reputation of this country. Alaska and then this MPP BMO. And some now are very critical. And our agencies in planes all kinds of have owners.
That's right.
And even the medical Wenokra has provided say they are ready to collaborate with whoever just to ensure say on beye obeje your friend is saying information be buying here biano or the bemano. For me, about within 3 months. Now no 90 days.
That's right.
Alaska. Now what me a high profile cocaine bust on 3 different occasions. Actually a counterfeit ring who have been operating for me that is credit. We need to credit the national security and say hey, you really done well for doing this or doing that. But all of a sudden nobody in the media is crediting government.
That's right.
For being able to bust this drug anchor ebe wura e krom ha ma ya. Alaska, are you telling me say in the last 8 years in the cocaine business in Koso Kruma,
right.
Considering this, because if somebody has been able to arrest 3 big way within 3 months,
so in the
past, and again, if and some now or more kind is anything to go by, they are seeking to suggest say, you are buying a cocaine business, and are buying a cocaine business, and not 3 months and watching a home presence.
Yeah, that is it.
You see, and we
okay,
Alaska,
all right.
We a media no be better when him say or the nasa ba won't me pam no. But some na all cano you use in some na all cano the bisa no question. Me sa on friend saying Ntim Fordjour.
That's right.
He cannot sit in front of me for just 5 minutes.
Oh no, I'm going to
because question maybe no, he can never find those answers. But what Bisa said, I didn't think you're making it possible for him to be thriving on the media, selling this kind of way, and he's getting away. And today he thinks he's a hero. And never I say President Akufo Addo Afenyo and never Bawumia and he's on TV making this nonsense of allegations.
A mighty minority.
Alaska.
Unfounded allegations.
Yes, so I think for me, I think we see government must up its game.
Okay.
Because you see, this time now, Alaska, this is a political party, one lose power, one lose goodwill. It doesn't have credibility. The MPP is clutching at straws, and all that they will do to revive, so they need to do what we call the force equivalence.
Exactly.
The best thing I can do is also so that equalization will come, and that is what they are seeking to do now. So we are government. You don't give them that room.
Okay.
No.
You don't give them that room. That is what I'm saying, sir. You don't show weakness as government. Because the very moment you begin showing traces and signs of weakness,
you are doomed.
You are doomed.
To overcome you.
And these people will capitalize on your weakness. And exactly that is what is going on. Abra President Ka said the guys should collaborate, The following day, no Shekulam na yebisa na question. Do you think Kwabena Agyapong radio so I hear you all year?
That's right.
Oh, what I said. But if you allow him, he would definitely go around and spread this falsehood. This freedom of speech, I do respect it a lot. But Alaska, where somebody is spreading falsehood with malicious intent, the thing is there to dent the credibility of the country because we are not in charge. Because they are telling you, sir, once we are not there, we will make the country ungovernable for you.
That's right.
And that has always been the modus operandi. That is what they did to Kwame Nkrumah. When Kwame Nkrumah was in power, doing his best to build this country, these people were conniving with Abrofono just to destroy his government.
Right.
And we saw it. And today, once again, they are here. And the nonsense aspect of this whole thing is that this Afenyo Markin and Co will sit down and tell them, we are Ghana, we are patriotic. You are mad. What patriotic? Alaska, Omu New Chroma say. And Akufo Addo was not messing up with this country.
That's right.
Whether or not in this country, when our monies were being used, our cathedral, to Amana, Abrana, your friend is saying, Oko, your friend said, Kolebua, right now you need people were dying.
That's right.
Was it not this country? Not people were stealing up and down. And your man when I Kenyans are some bayana, but that time that sense of patriotism they knew the mess that has gone on to this country.
They are patriotic when they are in the position.
When COVID money came into this country, people were sharing it like Christmas, your friends a biscuit, then as a phone. And some who now cause Okroma, do you now have moral, your friends a courage to say we are patriotic. We are patriotic, that's nice. But the thing is, you cannot speak out of nothing. And some now cannot bring the evidence, bring the fact. And all of us, if they're able to provide facts that these are these individuals, I will support you. I'll go all over the media space and support you because we all want this country to progress. But Alaska, if you don't have fact, you've been given the opportunity, come and bring your fact, put forward. Even some security agencies in Ghana campus, when you want to so be sure media platforms now, put that the fact there. Tell people say because of A, B, C, D. But some now cannot just say there are so quality baby no answer all kagum. And I'm say media no I so emotional, your fans are so obsessed with sensationalism, you know. Everybody is driving. And today ECG container will be in who come
Exactly.
And nipa no moto ye no obi enu ho come say because na ye bisa say yam prosecute omo. When was the last time you saw within the media so be can ECG containers asem?
No.
And apart from that, you know, there are people within who are also part of it. Afenyo Markin ya or they son the minimum say Kwaku Annan be okoba yi. Alaska, he's part of this ring.
Exactly.
ECG ring, you know, he's part of it.
And since Another make it that admission on the floor of parliament, you know, or call down on Kasebio.
Alaska, apart from him, the former your friends are running mate to Bawumia, NAPO, are part of this. So you see, the whole attempt is to kill this ECG when yes, I urema and some beba. So now let's front it with the cocaine issue.
We'll go back to it.
Alaska, there is, and I make us a media in serious. And from top to down, print, radio, wine, beer, cocaine. But when there is no cocaine issue.
But I want to say, something like I didn't show.
Yes.
After Tamo started so problem as you rightly said.
Yes.
Obisani say after
Alaska, you see, because there are a lot of weak minds sitting in front of microphones. They do emotional journalism. And you know, Oba, now no matter say microphone me radio be so and I said then yeah, you can't use power to intimidate people. Now, some no can, right. Government should provide. Nipa he who is alleging, you know, he's supposed to provide it. Alaska.
In your instances, I'm off at radio so I'm making similar comment. I'm a national security about farm, so I'm no more on the
no, it is your same media, some of your media guys who are seeking to project government evidence.
Who does that?
Kwache asserted the record straight on our government or the fact number. If you have anything contrary, present the evidence and you prove him wrong. But beside some now another canon, nobody has been able to, but rather some now canon and I was subjected to inquiries there. Me sure asem we all anyway or can so because asem now canon wasn't an event. I ever documented everything because at the time it was happening, it was just a normal understanding. Alaska that here next week. Okay, so I'm pen the paper. Now mention how we came in. Baby, I'm fire when I'm a chiano because I'm say any event maybe kaya you I'm not be able to walk you through that thing because it was just happening. The one you are revisiting and you are retelling that story, that our part that will escape you because it wasn't an event that you attended. You catch as a party now. How the event went. It wasn't an event. It was something that was just happening. You understand? So I think there. We need to be very serious. Now, over the year because you see, that has always been the old playbook of these guys. Alaska, let us sell the lie. The media will propagate, we will sell, and that will sit in the minds of Ghanaians. Isn't that what happened in 2016 in Asafo?
That's right.
And that's exactly, I'm telling you, sir, today they have no credibility. They know they are on the line. Ghanaians are asking government to prosecute them. Now they need to shift their attention. You understand? So now nobody is talking about prosecution. Nobody is talking about anything. Everybody is focused on cocaine, and they are calling you government to come and defend yourself so that you shift focus on what you're supposed to do. You understand? So I think that this old playbook, if you are not smart, you cannot see.
Right.
So you fall for this thing. This thing has been in the media for how long? Almost 2 weeks.
2 weeks now.
And we are talking about it when nobody has been able to provide a single evidence or any link. And link these two bust to what this so-called suspicious planning as a forum. And for me, instead of government getting credit for this thing, for the cocaine arrest, first one, second one, and this money laundering we are air cost so sika ye printing okroman, sika na ye printing no, which means that in the recent administration Akufo Addo administration, there were the people who were doing these things.
That's right.
Afenyo Markin, was he not in power? This Ntim Fordjour on Tikasa on social media, all this and way, was he not part of this country?
That's right.
And then they had the security, everything. So why would any serious-minded person waste his time on these guys, except the sensational media? Because so I think that you see, we need to credit ourselves. We see we are not just talking to a bunch of idiots somewhere, and my culture says Ghanaians are really enlightened. Also, that thing is not sinking.
That's
right. Try and fact, because if you want to say cocaine no or evidence nebra na nearly 1 2 3 I'm for BGD. Now let's get cocaine issues there anymore makoda prison nyina ba MP for and then Nónsense Alaska, but you see that kind of politics of equalization, it doesn't make sense.
That's right.
And until so we cannot build this country with this motive. Say Yan can semgum and I will pay ni pama na can they say osofo ne akofana obedi san semgum and is the one we see that nonsense and na edit ti hai and na edit ti o nyame ni pa na ye de hwan Alaska. I think we need to get serious.
But I say and I was Ivan Yameriko.
Now, there are significant differences between what happened in 2023 and what happened now. And the significant difference is that these planes flew under radar. Very important.
But they were declared missing.
But they flew under radar. Completely illicit. They didn't get clearing permits. So they landed illegally. They flew under radar. That's 2023.
Like thieves.
They came in the thick of night, as it were. They flew under radar and came into this country in 2023 and tested positive for cocaine. Now, the other thing which is most important about this is that the pilots managed to run away. 2023, the pilots flew these 2 planes into Ghana illegally, without permission. The planes tested for cocaine, but the pilots managed to run away. Significant. Now let's come to what is happening now. You know, Senna, I just can't wrap my head around what is happening now. And what is happening is absolutely nonsensical. I don't know why we are wasting our time with it. First, let's deal with the issue of capacity. There's a guy who addresses a press conference and says that I'm speaking on behalf of the minority. This is press conference. I'm speaking on behalf of the minority. When he sees the problems that are coming out of the press conference, he retreats. And now says, I'm speaking on behalf of the parliamentary committee. When that doesn't go well, he quickly retreats again and now is speaking on behalf of the minority. What is the capacity? Who is he speaking for? And up to today, he says he's not speaking for himself. He's not owning his statements. He cannot own his statements. He's either speaking for the parliamentary committee or speaking for the minority. So he's not even owning the statements. That's important. Then, Masa, for me, the biggest joke of all, the biggest joke. The guy says, I am very suspicious that something is wrong. And my suspicion, most importantly, is based on the fact that an ambulance aircraft came into Ghana. There was no dead body on it. There was no sick person on it. And I haven't seen a medical referral. What? Boss, can you believe this?
This is Ghana.
This will not happen in Kukusland. Kukusland, it won't happen there. So the suggestion is that anytime you see an ambulance, there must be a dead person on it. If there's not a dead person on it, there must be a sick person on it, or you must see a medical referral. What nonsense! And we are following this. Is that true? That anytime you see an ambulance, there must be a dead person on it, there must be a sick person on it, or there must be a medical referral. Is this the basis of suspicion? I can't believe it. And we are dancing around in circles around this rigmarole. I mean, what is this? It doesn't end there. The joke doesn't end there. I saw a clip of one of the leaders of the NPP being interviewed by a beautiful lady. And the lady poses a very simple question. Does Ntim Fordjour have evidence? And the man gets very angry. And he ends up saying that the evidence is in the inconsistencies. The inconsistencies are the evidence. Why are we following this? Master, what is wrong with us? Then they say, we want more information. So, 2 days ago, asked, so what is the information they want? One, we have been provided with the type of aircrafts that came into the country. We know the types. We know the registration details of the aircrafts. We know. We know the cargo they carried. We know. We have customs inspection reports. We know. We know the dates of the arrival and so on. So what other information are they looking for? What information has not been provided? Has anybody been able to tell you what information they are looking for which has not been provided? I'm baffled. And this thing has gone on and on and on and on and on for 2 weeks. Nothing. No substance. Empty air. 2 weeks. Look at the problems we've been discussing around this table. They are all forgotten. And this empty air has been discussed for 2 weeks. And then, now, the thing has shifted to some other things. I mean, the people who came to arrest him, they were wearing masks. Master, you know better than me. I mean, former MP, knowledgeable person, current MP, and my brother here, we're quite knowledgeable. Tell me, security services, under some circumstances, cannot wear masks? Are you telling me that this particular case? Tell me what is wrong. Somebody must be telling me what is wrong. So, Master, I used to say I am tired. I'm tired of this particular conversation. I used to say that. Now I'm not tired. I'm angry. I'm angry that anybody, any group of persons will decide to take us on this merry-go-round. Go Complete merry-go-round, no merit, nothing, just noise making. I can't believe it. And then the guy now is taking on titles. The last title I saw was in some newspaper. What was he called? You understand? Master, I think we should drop it. Let's drop it. It has no value. Let's drop it. Look, when he held this press conference, you know that the president did not order his arrest. The president did not order his arrest. What the president simply said was that, oh, like you, I'm worried about these serious allegations that you are making. And that we should work together in order to establish the facts.
Collaborate.
So, and the effective word was collaboration. So I'm instructing the security agencies to collaborate with you to go into all your suspicions and establish the facts for the benefit of every Ghanaian, for the benefit of everybody. That's what the president said. Guy says, I'm not coming. You lie bad. I won't come. Come and work with us. In fact, that is your responsibility as a member of the Defense and Interior, what committee is that?
Defense and Interior
Committee. That is your responsibility. You are supposed to be working with the state security agencies. It's your responsibility. Carry out your responsibility. He says, no, I'm not coming. And for 2 weeks, he hasn't come. And we are dancing around him. You know, and then, Master, let's drop it. Master, let's drop this matter.
Very interesting listening to the discussion. Somebody even cites the president, what the president's post on Facebook as evidence that there's something there. And that if there's nothing there, why did the president say that they should go and investigate the matter?
That's his interpretation.
Yeah, so it's quite interesting just listening to the debates across on this matter. It's so
clutching a straw,
yeah.
clutching a straw, knowing that eventually it will get to nothing. Everybody involved in this drama knows that this is not going anywhere.
Wasting everybody's time.
Just a waste of time. And my brother, listen. Even the origin of the aircraft, they get it wrong. Even the origin of the aircraft, they get it wrong. And then this thing about this air ambulance, that how come? In fact, I was listening to one senior member of the NPP and I laughed. He says, even the fact that the aircraft stopped here for fueling shows that there's something wrong. Because when they were moving from where they were coming from, didn't they calculate how much fuel they would take?
No.
Why do they have to land here?
It doesn't work.
Master, there are aircrafts with a smaller capacity for carrying fuel.
They pick fuel everywhere.
So they pick fuel as they go along.
Even the flights that come from Europe to Africa, they pick fuel before they go back.
That is true. In fact, the Gulf Stream, presidential jet, it flew from Accra to Havana. When it got to Brazil, it couldn't continue because the fuel couldn't take it there.
It has to pick fuel.
So it has to pick fuel from Brazil. Okay? It's normal practice for aircraft to stop to pick fuel. Some of them don't have big enough fuel tanks to do more than a certain number of hours. And in fact, on this panel, we are privileged because this man is a pilot. He knows he's a pilot. If what I'm saying is wrong, tell me. He's a licensed pilot.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? That's a licensed pilot sitting here. And a senior member of the New Patriotic Party. I don't blame him if he doesn't know. We don't know everything. None of us knows everything. But the fact of the matter is that smaller aircrafts, as they travel, they keep taking fuel because of the size, the capacity they have for carrying fuel. And this is the basis, they say this is also one of the suspicions. Hey, babe!
A journalist with, I think, GH1 wrote to Ahmed on these allegations, and this is what they say, that, on March 20th, 2025, Ahmed International Aircraft N823AM departed the United States for a scheduled international patient transport. As part of the planned flight path, the aircraft made multiple stops for fuel, including a stop at Kojokyeremanteng International Airport.
Multiple stops. Multiple stops.
Yeah. So I checked. They actually stopped in Morocco before they came. They didn't just come from Gran Canaria, Morocco, Accra, to wherever they were going to. So
they continued that upon landing in Ghana, the aircraft experienced a maintenance issue.
Exactly.
2 blown tires that required replacement. No patient was on board at the time. To address the mechanical issue, a second aircraft was dispatched with the necessary replacement parts, supplies, and 2 maintenance technicians. Over the next several days, repairs to aircraft N823AM were completed, and we returned to the US on March 25, following standard protocols and the required rest period for the flight crew. On its return flight, N823AM made a planned 4 stop at Gran Canaria airports, and continues will fully cooperate in any official inquiry into N823AM's presence in Ghana. We are confident that the flight documentation and mission details will clearly demonstrate that the Ahmed aircraft was not engaged in any illicit or illegal activities.
So that means Gran Canaria wasn't even its original.
No.
So
it came from a place in the US called Birmingham, Alabama. So from Birmingham, Alabama to Gran Canaria to West Coast, and then West Coast to wherever I was going. The last destination I'm still not sure of where they're going to pick the passenger, and then then the second one came with the technical crew.
Okay.
So the technical crew came with the spare parts and the tires and stuff. I came to do the changes here, and needed certification on needed it to be signed off. So they signed off before they went back. So the second aircraft went to continue with the mission of picking the passenger, came back, refueled, and then they left. That's what transpired.
Well, there's another interesting angle. I heard one of the press conferences, one very senior member of the NPP actually saying that, the plane which is supposed to have brought the spare parts, it didn't have a hole for cargo.
That's what doesn't. It was very wrong. It didn't make sense.
This is the evidence. This is based on their suspicion.
No.
The second aircraft didn't have a hold for cargo.
In fact, that aircraft has enough hold for cargo. And even when we don't have any passengers, you can put the parts in the plane. Because, when COVID came, we converted all these, commercial aircraft into cargo. We're just putting the nose marks on the seats. Ethiopian Airlines, that's what they were doing, and we're putting them on the seats and flying. So you can use the space for anything you want to use.
So if you don't have the information, don't talk. If you don't know, don't address a press conference. Save your party. Your party already is under stress. And your staff is throwing bombs and so on. Concentrate on that. You don't have the facts, you don't have the analysis, you want to address press conferences.
I address her food through grenades. She's warming up for the bombs.
You're waiting for Winnie and someone about Beto Yaponoso Mekause. So we don't subscribe to channel idea, but more than say over subscribe. Now, while I give video, don't give us a thumbs up. Now, share my work for Froso. Now, when you be here now, and somewhere also, Ghana memoir. Also, bet me otchere wadwen afaye and some way you know, comment box in mo. Obeti Minkabim in my next video.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.